Hi, I'm Kelly,
And I'm Laurel,
and this is the 11 Sessions.
the soul behind the sound.
I love songwriting. Like, songs are everything for me. I fell in love with it. Some of the best writers that I ever met were like, go here, hang out, watch these people. And I did that, and I was like, oh. If I heard somebody say one time, like, if you're the best songwriter in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And I heard that because I just was like, I got to get better. I want to get better. I got to get better. I got to find it. And I started when I started going down to Nashville, Nashville's Songtown, USA.
Hey y'all, what's up? My name's Noah Smith, and this is the 11 Sessions.
It's called Skinny Pedal on the Right.
Foot on the brake before you put it in drive. Skinny pedal on the right. It's gonna get you where you're going. Don't forget where you've been. Now and then you get caught in the middle. Never pass on the double yellow. Don't always live with your tough side showing. Don't forget who your mama is. Yeah. Learning to let you go. 1 mile at a time. Sometimes you gotta go, run, fall in love, strike out on your own. No, this old house is more than wood and stone. You don't have to look back to know that you can always come back home. Sometimes you gotta go. Someday you'll be running on empty. Someday you'll push it too far. Someday you're gonna break down. That day will be hell of my heart. Sometimes you gotta go. Run, fall in love, strike out on your own. No, this old house is more than wood and stone. You don't have to look back to know that you can always come back home. Sometimes you gotta go. You cross that line and lose your mind and find the dead end road. It's hard sometimes. You gotta go, run, fall in love, strike out on your own. No, this old house is more than wood and stone. You don't have to look back to know that you can always come back home. Sometimes you gotta go. I guess sometimes, foot on the brake before you put it in drive. Skinny pedal on the right. It's gonna get you where you're going. Don't forget where you've been. You never put me on the bus. You rarely made a game. I never thought that much of us. Ain't it funny how things change? You never bought me my first truck. I cleaned stables and I bucked hay. I hated him with every buck I made. Ain't it funny how things change? A wedding band on a callous hand ain't who I thought I'd be, but that man made a man of me. I swore to God I'd never be just like him, but I'll die trying. There ain't much that gets to him at all. I can count on one hand the times he's cried. He held my boy, I saw one fall, and when Grandpa said goodbye. A wedding band on a callous hand ain't who I thought I'd be, but that man made a man of me. I swore to God I'd never be just like him, but I'll die trying. He taught me how hard work is, how you work it out, the meaning of a memory, the value of a vow. I swore to God I'd never be just like him. With a wedding band on a callous hand ain't who I thought I'd be, but that man made a man of me. I swore to God I'd never be just like him, but I'll die trying. I swore to God I'd never be just like him, I'll die trying. I got a bunch of fun whiskey party songs, but we're not doing those today. We're gonna stay in that. We're gonna stay. Yeah, you probably. Really rock star move. I got my iPhone here.
No judgment.
Brand new song. So.
We're excited. No shame in this game.
There's a teacher in a small town, chalk dust in her hair. She's trying to paint a sunrise on a life that wasn't fair. There's a bar in the corner where a lost man begs for a light. They're pouring drinks for broken hearts, too tired to even fight. There's a thief who swears he's honest, but his kids don't ever call. A daughter who ain't come back home since curfew in the fall. There's a preacher with a heavy tongue, with a liar in his pew. There's a runaway bride who never said I do. We all wear our shadows like a coat we can't take off. Lord only knows what it cost. Up in heaven, everybody knows your name. Every scar, every story, every joy, every pain. When the angels call, they won't mind that you were lost. Up in heaven, there's no strangers after all. There's a son who let his father down, and a cheater out in the rain, a soldier with a Bible washing off another stain. There's an addict in a motel room humming lullabies, and a God who knows know she's coming home soon with mercy in his eyes. Up in heaven, everybody knows your name. Every scar, every story, every joy, every pain. When the angels call, they won't mind that you were lost. Up in heaven, there's no strangers after all. We're the lost and the finders of grace, the shore, the wreckage, and the proof. Radical love's the only way to see through the mirror and the truth. Up in heaven, everybody knows your name. Every scar, every story, every joy, every pain. When the angels call, they won't mind that you were lost. Up in heaven, there's no strangers after all. Up in heaven, there's no strangers after all. Thank you. Thank you.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
All three of those. Yeah. I was admiring that you like writing with other musicians, and that takes courage, I think,
Yeah.
to do that. So when you switch from solo writer to collaborating with others,
Yeah.
can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's like the journey of my life as an artist. I love songwriting. Like, songs are everything for me. I fell in love, like we were talking earlier about Todd Snyder, like as a storyteller. And it was just
Yeah.
like, I started listening to his live records when I was younger. But I grew up like a punk rock garage band kid. So being in a band is still like everything for me too. Like, I love, like, my band is it's us, you know? I don't like just... If I have to, I can get subs. I can find some of the musicians around, but like, I love that like family feel of what we're doing, kind of like this tribe, and like we kind of mob up everywhere. There's 9 of us where we go, you know, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think when I'm a big quote that kind of changed my life. I heard somebody say one time, like, if you're the best songwriter in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And I heard that because I just was like, I got to get better. I want to get better. I got to get better. I got to find it. And when I started going down to Nashville's Songtown, USA, and
Yeah.
great songs can be written everywhere, but man, the writers in that town will just stop you in your tracks, you know?
So what is that process like when you're collaborating with other people? Like, how do you, for people who are interested in collaborating for songwriting, because so many people that we've spoken to are doing it solo, and so it's like a solo struggle. Right. It's part of their whole thing. But what's it like when you're collaborating with others?
Yeah, I think it's very service oriented, you know? Like, sometimes when you're in the room, it's your idea. Like, I'm a big idea guy. Like, here's the concept and here's where we'll go. But I think it's a lot more like about how can I serve the song versus myself. And a lot of times, you know, I'll say like Cincinnati's a very like garage band town. You come up, you have your band, the guy, that person writes the songs, and then there's the band, and that's like 100% fine. And you'll hear a lot of people that kind of hate on co-writing. Like, I don't co-write. Like, this is me and my poetry. And that's fine. Like, I write poetry too, but that stays in my notebook, you know? But
Your California's coming out just
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not from California.
I know you're not,
Second time I
but
said that.
I feel like you can imitate them pretty
Yeah.
well,
That's-
with all respect.
I say dude a
To the
lot.
state.
You know? I used to want to be like I skated a lot and like skied and like used to jump, do all the extreme stuff, and I think that's in my bones for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just, but writing like, it's definitely interesting. But Ari, I think for me it was like, okay, Noah, you know that you got something here, but do you really? Let's go throw this thing in the fire and be around some of the best. And really be put in your place a couple times. Like maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, you know.
Yeah.
But I do think co-writing and as much as Nashville, as people, this happens to everybody, and I didn't think it would happen to me, but like it will change you. That city and the culture of songwriting and the industry. Like if you're waking up every day and trying to get after it,
Yeah.
it will impact you for good and bad, you know. And I've seen that happen. And I'm not the most like Nashville'd up person, but I put a lot of time and effort into. I fell in love with it. Some of the best writers that I ever met were like, "Go here, hang out, watch these people," and I did that, and I was like, "Oh." There was this writers round in town called Revival 615. It was at a place called Tin Roof on the Mumbrian, and they were a friend of mine. His name was Ben, and he was at the studio that I was demoing some stuff at. Because I was always like a studio guy and loved production and recording. And I was like, I need to go get these songs kind of leveled up. And then you start saying like, maybe I could get some artist to cut my songs and it would pay my house off or whatever, you know? So I started demoing songs and they were like, go here. And when I went to Revival, I saw people that loved songwriting as much as I did. And now I host the Crooner Circus in Cincinnati. Like that one, none of that would have happened for me if I didn't go to those rooms. Like, and so writing really like as a solo artist or a solo writer, it's just its own thing. And then co-writing is a different thing. But I think there's something really cool about communally coming together and actually admitting that maybe my idea isn't the best idea.
How hard is that? I realize you've got a question brewing because you just shifted entirely
Yeah.
different seat.
Yep.
How hard is that to put your ego aside to say, I've thrown my life on this page,
Yeah.
you know, like the story about Carol, Granny Carol.
Yeah.
And I can't take offense to how this is going to be received by the audience, and maybe
Yeah.
someone has some ideas. How hard is that to set your ego aside and
Yeah.
take feedback from other musicians?
Well, as you were saying that, I thought about this moment that I felt like kind of changed for me. I had this song called Whiskey in the Wind that I wrote by myself years ago and started putting it down. And I took it to my friend Blue Foley and Shelly Tackett. They're great songwriters. I write with Blue a lot. I've written some songs and cut some songs with Shelly. And Shelly's an Ohio native. But I took that song to them and I felt like it needed more. Like it wasn't good enough. These guys are like, they're songwriters, you know. I mean, been on big records, big things, big projects, right? With, you know, have Ashley McBride cuts and bigger songs than I've ever dreamed of touching, you know?
Yeah.
And I sat around the kitchen table with them in that day, and I'll never forget this. Blue looked at me and Shelly, and they kind of looked at each other, and they were like, this song's done. We don't need to be on this. And so on the ego side of it, because so many people, if you were like, hey, will you write with me? They're gonna, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna find something to change about that so I can get my little piece of it.
Yeah.
But I got taught what integrity's like that day because they were like, we don't want this. This song's finished. And it was like such a gift for me to realize like I don't have every great idea. And I've had that happen to me now where I'll have people hit me up about co-writing and I'm like, you don't need me to write on this. Just give yourself permission or go back and rewrite it yourself or find something. But you don't need that from me to make it great. But the ego question is interesting because like I think especially from artists because it's like you die to your ego, but like there's a lot of people think I have a huge ego, but like my name's on the t-shirt, but I die to that every day to make it happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, but that can easily happen. But I think it is tough. It's a strange, weird, but I would say this to anybody that like wants to co-write. If you've never done it, do it because like I love it more than writing by myself. You know, like
we've talked about doing it together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We're humans. Like, what a cool thing to share. And you know,
Yeah.
I think and I also think in a career process of writing, like for me, some of the best songs I've ever had were written with other people. I don't think I would have got them there, you know?
So you said, I don't know if this was off camera or not, but you said that you were obsessed with like collaborating and songwriting,
Yeah.
and that you had gone to a lot of workshops and things like that. When you're in Nashville, are you doing workshops, or are you just connecting up with people you know and asking them to write songs with you?
Yeah, there's like this whole, they call it like the Nashville handshake. When you meet somebody, you're like, we should write sometime. Like that's how you meet, you know, or anywhere. And what's cool is like, I'm seeing that happen in Cincinnati now. And it's really, there are more people co-writing in Cincinnati than ever, I think. And I think I'm blessed to be a part of Crooner Circus, my songwriter show, but like it changed the landscape. Like people are starting to do that. People are putting songs out. But so I haven't done a lot of like what would be like a workshop or like a training, but retreats where it's like, we're going to get these 9 people together. You 3 are going to go here and write. You 3 are going to go here and
I
write.
see.
That's kind of what I've said is like, I fell in love with those. I
Yeah.
got to, my old manager years ago put on a retreat out in Whitefish, Montana, and there was just some great writers there, like hit writers, and got people that have some great stuff going on. Blue and Shelley were there, and I just remember being out there like, man, these people have lived for their songwriting, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. You know, that was, I want to say 2018 or 19, or I don't know, it might have even been before that, but
Yeah.
but yeah, like just that process of doing that. But I think there are some amazing like workshops and stuff that side of it. But a lot of times when we get together, it's like you'll find somebody that has something that, like they're a melody person, or they have, you know, great concepts and ideas. Like I've got some friends that like, some people don't even love who they are as people, but I'm like, man, I like writing with them because they're a little wild, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
there's something there that
Yeah.
you can kind of grab a hold of and share and be a part
Yeah.
of. And
I heard this speech once that talks about it. Somebody sampled it at the beginning of their song, and it's instrumental, but it's this gentleman. I wish I remember the name of the person that did the speech, but he says, you know, if you're in your head thinking all the time, then the only ideas that you have are the ones that are in your head. If you're not working with others, then
yeah, that's good.
you don't, you know, you're not really expanding your horizons. And in music, if you are playing the same 5 notes, then you're deaf. If you're seeing as an artist the same 5 colors, then you're blind. And so it kind of leans into this whole concept about
Yeah.
working with others, because they're seeing different tones and different qualities and different, you know, colors and
Yeah.
and all of that. So I appreciate that you're leaning into that, collaborating with other people.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with like sitting in your room and writing songs and writing poetry and keeping that to your. There's
Right.
that's the word. Like it's art. There's room for all of that. you know?
Exactly.
But when you start like paying your bills with your shows and your songs, it's like there is a craft here. And like I grew up very blue collar. Like my family ran a construction company, and I say this all the time. But it was like the only thing I knew how to do was like pick up a shovel and go to work.
Yeah.
And that's still how I run my business. It's like sometimes that shovel took you down this path, and you look back, you're like, why was I doing that? You know, but it's like all I knew how to do was wake up every day and go to work. And I think there's this thing of like this sacredness of songwriting, and it is sacred. It's very spiritual, but also like I can write a song in 15 minutes if I need to, and other people can't. You know, a lot of people can. And so I think one of my favorite things that I say this, and I don't know if I made it up or I heard somebody along the way, but it's like people talk about writer's block, and I'm a big believer of like, you just haven't, you're giving yourself permission to write bad songs yet. And when you start hanging around with people that have written thousands of songs, you realize how many bad ones they also have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's like that it's like, take the shot, you know, and
Yeah.
a pro basketball player has shot how many thousands of whatever, you know, but I love that, like, because it takes the sacredness out of it a little bit of just like, sometimes it's just about picking the weight and pushing some weight for that day.
Be
It's
okay
a
to fail.
Yeah.
But it's so personal, isn't it, though? Because if you're writing about, it's basically, you know, an audio diary of
Yeah.
an experience that you've had, and it's really personal. And to have the courage to put it out there, and then for people to say that's utter garbage, you know, go back and try again. That is shit,
Or just being honest with yourself that like you played it in a room and it didn't work.
right?
And you're going to just keep playing it that way for the next 10 years of your life, or are you
Yes.
going to realize it didn't work?
You need to change it up.
And then I think I'm excited because I think for me, like I'm in another season now of like, I did all that.
Yeah,
Like those songs, that last song that I played I wrote that by myself. It was a solo write. And I just shared it with a producer friend of mine. And he was like, this is the stuff that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
But it took me a lot of other songs about boots and like they shouts out Blue Foley. I'm giving him a shout. Shouts out Blue. Like I heard him say he's like everybody has that 1 year song or that he called it. I think it was the 2 year song that like they've lived in Nashville for 2 years and they're writing that song about their boots.
Yeah.
Like everybody's got to write that song, and then you got to get through that stuff. You know, like everybody writes their hometown song. Like I did that. I have a song called Uphill Both Ways. I laid water main I was in a ditch for 10 years. Like I wrote this song. I grew up doing tobacco. I was an athlete, like a rural kid athlete. Like I wrote about all that stuff. And now it's about, it's, you know, finally, I think I'm like psychologically like in the therapy chair here, like going through like, dude, you're 38. You have a wife and 3 kids. You're not 19 anymore.
Yeah.
It's okay to start writing about what's really actually happening. You know? And we went so hard at chasing this thing for so long that it was just like a decade of blur in my life for good and bad. You know, I mean, there was a lot of dark days in those, but like great things happen. And now I'm like, I get to do this. I'm blessed to be able to do this. But it's like, just give yourself permission to know that like you had to do all that to get to where you are. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever written something and you get tired of playing it because whatever reason?
Yeah.
And then years later you come back and go, oh, I need to dust it off. I don't even remember it anymore. And it isn't an entirely different song now because you've had a few years under your boots.
Yeah.
And you looked at it differently and you said, I've got to change this up because it's no longer applicable. And now I'm not tired. And now it has a whole nother meaning.
Yeah.
Or basically rewritten a song you already written. Have you done that?
Rewriting is something I'm trying to get better at for sure. There's a song that it was on my first ever EP. It came out in 2014. It's called "Let the Clutch Out." And what's funny is like I've had a lot of people like Cincinnati's an interesting music city because it's like it's small enough to be a little cliquey, but it's like I've just always been about everybody having a good time at this thing. Like I realized years ago, we all showed up for different reasons. Yeah. But, like, I didn't say I want to go be the next Garth Brooks. I just wrote about my life. But my life was I was a punk rock kid from Brown County, Ohio. Yeah. So I skated, but I also could go do tobacco with the best of them and work, you know, and it was like I had this weird mixture. So when I put out this song, like, I remember some of these, like, where I grew up, if you wanted to play music, you had to play, like, hardcore. If you wanted to be in a band, you had to be in a punk rock band. There's only bands around. Yeah. So, like, I played drums and some, like, just loud screamo. Love that type of music still. It's very still in my bones. But that was it. And so when I started putting out, like, kind of country music, I had a lot of friends that were like, oh, he's a sellout. And I was like, this is what I do 40 hours a week, man. And so Let the Clutch Out was one of those songs you're saying, like, we started playing it again at shows. I'm like, man, I miss this song because I thought I was like too cool for it. But now we're playing it, and I'm like, this song is word for word truth to my life. You know,
that's
like
cool.
There's a guy named Daryl that used to work for my dad, and we were at a wedding one time, and he raised his drink up. He said, "Let's let the clutch out, boys." And I went, "What'd you just say?" And I pulled out my phone and like wrote it down. And I knew I learned what he meant by that. It was like, because it was like 6 a.m. and we were letting the clutch out. Like it was all about letting it loose. Yeah. Pop that clutch and get after it.
Go.
Yeah.
So we wrote that song, and that song got put on hold for a Jason Aldean record. And that's why I started going to Nashville. And like that song changed my life. I didn't make a dime off of it past what I was selling CDs for, but like I saw it on the list for that Aldean record. Aldean's whole band recorded my first record with me. And those like guys are incredible, but it changed my life. Like nothing, it didn't get on the record. It got put on hold, which is like fancy for saying like, don't give it to anybody else, you know?
Yeah.
But when the record came out, you just don't know. And so, but if it would have been on that, who knows what my life would have looked like. But it convinced me enough to be like, you got something here.
Right.
You know, and give it, you know, I remember like climbing out of the ditch and like being like, oh my gosh, like, Aldean's going to cut this song. It's going to change our life. Like, sell the house.
We're moving.
Yeah, and then nothing ever happened. You know? It just convinced us to get in a van for the next decade of our lives and get after it. So
that's awesome.
That's really cool.
I love that story.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you do, like, I think songs become completely different new things.
Who's on your list of co-writers that you, like a dream, like a destination writer, someone that you really love their style and love the way they approach writing that you would really love to sit down and write with?
Somebody that I want to or I have written with?
Both.
Yeah. I'll be honest, man. I'm talking about Blue a lot. I love the dude, but like he was a person that like I watched in Nashville, and I've written a lot of songs with him now and cut some songs. He always jokes. He's like, I like writing with you because you actually cut my like I put music out. You know, don't just sit on there. But man, to like Travis Meadows is my person. I've never, and I'm like connected to him through people, but I've never. Travis Meadows is one of my songwriting. He's top of my list for sure. I'd love to write with him. And,
Why?
Go listen to any Travis Meadows records and you'll find the answer.
Okay.
He's just so his style, his storytelling is just so good.
Yeah.
Todd Snyder's probably my biggest songwriting hero. You know, rest in peace to Todd Snyder. And also, I'm a big fan of John Moreland. He doesn't co-write. He's an art. You know, but Travis.
He's so amazing.
Travis Meadows is like one of those guys that like all the writers know that who he is, you know,
Yeah.
but he also like he has Kenny Chesney songs and you know, he's had the song that's paying for the house and all that. But then, you know, I've also just admired him as like I know he's struggled in different things and just watched what he's went through and different things. And yeah, his writing's definitely been an inspiration for me. I've probably referenced his records for mixes more than any other record in my life. Like that snare sound or like that thing he does with his delay on his vocal, you know, that kind of dorky stuff.
So tell us a little bit about the Crooner Circus. Like, how did that come about? That's been around for a while.
Yeah.
How did that idea come about?
The real origin story was I got a message from Dan McCabe, who used to own Motor Pub.
Yes.
And he was like, hey, man, I got a Thursday. I'd love to have your band come play. And I was like, well, how much is it? And I was like, well, I can't afford to bring my band for that, you know? And he was like, well, you know, we got something changing. And I said, I've had this idea. I've always dreamed, I love to juggle and like, I love circus culture. And so I was like, well, what if we did a writer's round, you know, and just threw it out to him. I have the original email. And in April of 2018, we did the first one there at Motor Pub.
Wow.
And it was like something really special about Motor because it was the room that I could get up and be like, hey, everybody shut up.
Yeah.
Like we're doing a songwriter thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then these frat guys would come in at like 11 o'clock at night and be rowdy and hey, you know, and that's where the shut up, and we say like shut up and let the songs do the talking is like our way to tell everybody like, quiet down, this is now a listening room. And they're just like crushing Busch Light.
Smash them.
Yeah. So we did that, and man, it was just special. And then it was like, oh, this is cool. So we did it every other month into 2019, and then we started doing it every month, and then it started getting a little buzz. And then COVID hit in 2020, and all of my dates got taken. We had like 80 dates taken off of our calendar.
Oh, wow.
We were out pretty full-time touring at the time. But we found this place called Big Ash Brewing, and their space was set up perfectly that we could do the show even through COVID. Like they did all the like plexiglass and like all the stuff, you know?
Yes.
But it was big enough that we could still have a show. And I really think it was kind of timing that like a lot of artists found a little home there when they couldn't do a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we started doing it every month there. We did it there since I think we did it there 7 years.
Wow.
And then I always say October because we had to like switch when our anniversary was, but October is our 8th year, I guess. Yeah. So and now we're at the Southgate House Revival up in the Revival Room every third Thursday. And it's like we're going through this other transition that now it's like a real listening room because there isn't frat guys coming in at 11. It's like people are getting a ticket and they're sitting there and experiencing it. Yeah. We've had over like 250. I was saying 300, and then I actually got a spreadsheet out and like put it. And I was like, oh, we're a little shy of that, but we've had some #1 writers on it. Styles Harrier, he's had some Luke Bryan cuts. We've had a duo from Denmark named Glimtvis have came into town. Had some big writers throughout, but we've had so many awesome like just local to Cincinnati and the region. As soon as we started doing it at the Southgate House, it's been cool because I knew this would happen. All the musicians are always keeping an eye on everything. I knew going there that I'd start getting like the random, like, we'd like to be a part of this, you know? And so I feel like we're in like a new transition of like, where does this show go? And then 2 years ago, we decided to launch the festival. So we did the Crooner Circus Songwriter Festival, and we've taken it on the road a couple times. So that's the first Saturday in December. And then we're also excited, like May 8th and 9th of this year, we're taking about 15 songwriters to Put-in-Bay.
Oh, wow.
wow.
So we were officially doing the Put-in-Bay Crooner Circus Songwriter Festival.
That's cool.
Fun.
Yeah.
What's the most rewarding part of kind of managing that and kind of being the father of that whole child?
Yeah. I kind of have always joked that I felt like if I started Crooner, I didn't have to drive 5 hours to write with people because I knew there was great songwriters.
Yeah.
But I definitely was like conscious about like, I need to shift this and get people to see what this is and kind of fall in love with songs, you know, because of the whole, like, nobody really a lot of people don't co-write.
Right.
It's a kind of a different thing, but it's not for LA, New York, and big music Nashville. Like, it's more of a, when you're really in the industry, it's a pretty common thing to write with other people and collaborate. That's been really rewarding because now I'm in like the big boy, wearing my like the big boy side of it, where I'm not involved in all the awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And you kind of got to like swallow that bitter pill sometimes and be like, yeah, but I like, this is definitely happening, you know? And I think I realized like about a year ago, my buddy Adam from Sunday Drives, which you guys should chat with. He's an amazing dude. And I don't think people realize how many times me and him talk at like 2 a.m. for like hours and stuff. And he was telling me, he's like, you know, he was talking about being, what's it called? Oh, relevant. He was talking about relevancy. And he was like, dude, you've like, he was like, he kind of gave me this, it really changed I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, you've been relevant in this city for a decade, and that's hard to do. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. But Crooner has been a way to be like, it's really make me realize like, oh, maybe I'm the dude that I wanted to actually be when I was 19
Yeah.
in this city, you know? Like,
And you didn't even realize it was happening, did you?
no.
Someone had to tell you
Yes.
Yeah.
that you're relevant
You're
before you
fostering
realized.
community.
And
yeah.
we're not done, but it's like the community side of it is definitely the coolest part of it. Like, there's this like, oh, this is happening. And I was just showing up, you know, and
That's one of the reasons Laurel and I were excited when Susan reached out. And,
Yeah.
You know, we were checking into your scene, and we wanted to have you on the show because the whole point of this 11 sessions is to highlight the cool musicians that are really creators in the town that people don't have the opportunity to see and hear and fall in love with and understand what they're doing, all their projects. And so it's really delightful to have you to be on the show and to talk about this.
And that you're supporting so many other musicians in town and kind of showing them the way, you know.
That's awesome to hear that, really, too. You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. I've always had this. I think it was growing up kind of, like I said, like a punk rock. I was like a church basement punk rock kid. Like, we would put these shows on in people's houses and basements. And, you know, when I was in high school, I was in a van touring, like thinking we were going to be rock stars. And you know, we had no idea what we were. I mean, I learned so many awesome things at that, being around those bands. And I always wanted everybody to like come together because it was like, if one of us wins here, we all win.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened to Georgia. Like that's what happened to Atlanta. Like, that's why REM is a band, like, because that scene built a scene. And Cincinnati's a interesting size of a city.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's like that Mark Twain quote that he said something about, when the world ends, I want to be in Cincinnati because it's always 10 years behind the times. And it's like, we're not Nashville, we're not New York, we're not LA. Like, I even referenced that, but it's like, man, Hank Williams' last record, like his last studio project was in Cincinnati. It's like, there's so much talent around here.
It's amazing. And I feel like there's a lot of community too, that they're, you know, it's small enough that people kind of know each other and are pretty supportive. It's not like super competitive in a way that feels
That's good
negative.
to hear,
I don't feel that anyway, you know.
And we're not seeing that from the other musicians we've talked to.
No.
They've talked about, you know, supporting one another and, you know, how to find gigs and, you know, things like doing open mic nights because they might be hosting the open mic night and they go,
cool.
hey, we really want you to open for
then
us
bring
and do
their
a
friends
show with
along.
us. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, there's this whole group of individuals that are constantly lifting one another up, which is just, you know, does the heart good.
Right.
That they're not competing for the airtime.
There's definitely that like scarcity mindset that I think it's an Appalachian thing, you know, it's like everybody's holding on to their beans or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way. I mean, the best relationships that I have are so giving. And I've kind of was like, try to outgive me, you know? And if we all had that, then we're all going to have a better year.
Isn't that true?
You know?
Yeah.
But at some point, also, there's needs to be a part where everybody's not getting like the trophy too. That like that's something that I think is interesting. A lot of people don't want to say.
Yeah.
But like, that does happen, and
Yeah.
I've been trying to see what does that look like, you know, because
Yeah.
it's like, Crooner's an example. Like, it's not an open mic, but there's not really like it's like I always say, like, you just can't suck. And like that's on our website. I have a website.
You
but
just can't
it's not my
suck.
decision. I just know that there's a thing that happens, and I think we're getting like, I feel like Cincinnati's really starting to be better at like, mediocrity is not okay. You know, like it's okay, but like there are people that are trying to pay their bills every day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's just the music scene everywhere. Because like, there is a group of some dudes that are accountants that will go play that show for $500.
Yeah.
Right.
I got 9 people that need to make a living.
Feed their families.
Right.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
like, so there's a dynamic of that, and that's in every city or whatever. But I feel like I love hearing you say like there is more community, and I see a lot more people kind of teaming up on shows and
Yes.
reaching down and bringing people up.
Yes.
Well,
I-
we're seeing that namely in the creator space.
Yeah,
We know there's space for all types of musicians,
yeah,
but truly the ones that are creating understand the hill they have to climb to get to the stage that they want to play on. And they understand the battles and
Yeah.
the back to the daily tyranny of life and what it takes
That's
to get
good.
there and helping one another. And that's been really good for the soul,
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Okay, so you talked about your buddies from Denmark. Talk about your tour, and you're going
Yeah.
to Denmark soon.
Yeah. I'm not going back in April. Man, my Blue's getting all kinds of love on this podcast. My buddy, I sleep on his couch a lot when I'm down in Nashville, so he deserves all of that.
Is he going with you?
On this trip, he's not. So I've got to go 4 years in September, Nashville Nights International Songwriter Festival. It's in Odense, Denmark. And I'm not going in the fall for the festival, but I got asked to go over in April to Herning is how you say it. They like, you can't even try to talk how they talk. They make sounds that we don't even know how to. So they like laugh. They laugh. But one of the most amazing things about being in Denmark is like they speak better English than we do. So it's just as soon as you land, you're connecting and talking. But I'm so honored to go back. I'm going back with a couple artists. Kinsey Coppin, who's from Texas, amazing artist. Craig Wayne Boyd, who won The Voice. And we get to go back. There's another artist, and I feel horrible for not knowing her name. She's an artist from Europe, and we get to go. We're going to do a couple full band shows,
Yeah.
and so that's going on in April. And but Nashville Nights International Songwriter Festival, one of the coolest things. Nashville Nights, it's a writers round and a songwriter show, and it's a festival. So there's rounds in all the venues around town.
That's cool.
I've been so blessed to be. I came out of like after we were off the road 2020, 21, didn't know what was going to happen. I got asked to go to Denmark, and it was like the single little thing of like, you're like scratching at the thing. And I was like, oh, we're still in this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my name's still touching. How can we make this happen? Because I knew the work that went into that. And then all of a sudden it was gone.
Yes.
For many, many other reasons besides just not having shows. But like I ended up in therapy for the first time in my life because I thought everything, and it did. Everything changed. Like
Yeah.
God's got a plan for all this. And but that was like one. I remember I was standing at my friend's house in Nashville, and Blue called me. He's like, "Hey, would you want to go to Denmark?" And I was like,
Would I?
"Let's go." And like I remember the guy from and I feel bad not even knowing his name. I should know his name, but is the bass player from the Rumpke Mountain Boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I was younger, he would go to like Switzerland or something or the Netherlands, and I was always like, dude, he goes to Europe. Like that's cool.
That's big time.
And now like I've got to go 4 times, and it's like, what is that? You know? And so it was such a special thing. If you guys ever get a chance to go over there, it's one of the coolest countries. But like that festival was so special.
That's
We
awesome.
had some fans go over for the last couple years, and that's been really, really cool.
Really?
So, yeah.
Do you get to take your family?
Yeah. So, well, my wife has went every year. If we went into the festival in the fall, we talked about taking my oldest son. But I'm just going over by myself. And so we'll hopefully keep building it and keep going back.
That's cool.
Love it. Shouts out to all the Danes.
That's big time to
Yeah, that
travel
They
internationally.
think I'm way cooler there than I am here. That is for sure.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, that is, we have like, I think that this show in April, like there's like 800 tickets sold for. So it's like,
Amazing.
that doesn't happen here, you know? So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
I'm going to keep going back, you know, we have a great relationship. I mean, they know I have Crooner Circus. It's like, you know, there's so many writers rounds. But I've been really open front with them like from day one. It's like I had this idea back before I knew all you guys, and so they know. And actually, we've done some Nashville Nights takeovers.
Yeah.
So there's a United States side of it that's touring and doing stuff. So check out Nashville Nights and all that, and it's been really cool. You know, just a great, again, songwriting. Like it all starts with a song. That's what it's all about.
How are you managing?
I'm not.
I'm
Not at all.
Okay, next question,
No,
please.
no. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm, father, family man.
Yeah.
You spend time with family, going to the games, doing the dad things.
You're on the road.
You're on
out
the
of town.
road. You're touring internationally within, multiple states.
I also lead worship on Sunday mornings.
Oh my gosh.
So that
Worship
happens.
leader
That
on
happens
Sundays.
too.
Are you getting sleep?
Not a whole lot.
No.
No. I'm learning about sleep. So you talk about sleep, it's like, get some sleep. Yeah. My wife is so funny. A true story. We had this conversation last night. It was like my son's girlfriend was we were having dinner or whatever, and we were talking about like our goals or whatever. And Candace said something about like her goals. You just gotta be honest on the podcast here. She said something about being backseat to mine. And it like triggered me. I was like, no, absolutely not. And she was like, no, that's not what I mean. I don't mean like you're making me backseat. And she's like, this thing is big we've been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
And it really killed me last night to hear. I've never heard her say that, but she didn't say it in like the cliche, like I was like,
I put myself on hold.
yeah.
Yeah.
but
Not resentful.
She actually said, no, I've made a choice to like, because there is times like I'm at a lot of games, but I'm not at all the games, and I'm there's times where I got to go. Like being here. And so we make it work. I used to work construction. So like I was gone at 5:30 every day. I never saw my kids in the mornings. I'm making less money than I ever have made, but I'm so much more. We're working on that, by the way.
Clearly.
I'm excited about this year.
Yeah.
So.
You're hustling.
But just overall, like from income side of everything, like we've learned to live off less so we can have the freedom to do what we do. And she's a photographer. She's amazing. She's a total G, but yeah, managing it's like, if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. That's
Yeah.
why we live by that, But it's
Especially
funny
with a family of 5, that's hard to manage everybody's calendar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it 100% is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then she did tell me, she said, I know that this year because I used to say yes to everything. Then we started learning how to like kind of protect the no,
Yeah.
So like football season this year, it was my son's senior year. I didn't play any shows on Fridays. I was like, I could go make more money than I've ever made Wednesday through Saturday, just me and my guitar.
Yeah.
But we make a choice not to just do that. But it's not the smartest decision all the time, But yeah, we manage it. She's incredible. Our kids are incredible. Our kids roll with us too. Like my son was shooting video and selling merch the other day.
That's cool.
I grew up in a family business, so it's kind of part of that. But
Do you have kin folk that are musicians, and what got you into music to begin with?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I have nobody in my family that was musicians. Like I have some people that are musicians that play, but nobody professionally. My dad ran a construction company, Land Water Main. That was it,
Were you exposed to music as a kid through your family? Or
Yeah,
was
we
it-
used to listen to a lot of music. I fell in love with the culture of, I think it was the generation that I came up with. My best friend growing up was 2 years older than me and was in like hardcore metal bands.
Yeah.
I'd go to those shows and just fell in love with these people believing in this thing. And there was this church in Bethel, Ohio. They had a basement and they would do these shows in it. And there was like this cool, his name's Shamus. He's in Northern Kentucky. I just found this out not that long ago. They would literally, it was like the place that the youth could go on Friday nights, and they had the stage and it was cool. There was a few foosball tables, like all the cliche, like youth pastor stuff. He like did a great job. It was awesome. And it gave us literally a reason to like start bands and write songs. Like I remember like being in yearbook class and looking at my friends like, let's start a band that like, when my aunts come to the show, they can actually understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like instead of screaming. And we started a band just to go play, and you could go play at that church and there'd be 100 kids in there and you felt like a rock star. You know?
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with the culture of it all. Sidewalk to the stage, like all that whole thing. And it was a unique time of like MTV had happened, but now MTV2 was out. And so you could kind of be a part of the
Rest in peace,
anti-thing.
MTV, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
You could like be a part of that anti thing. And I don't know. It was, I just fell in love with it, you know, and playing guitar and lyrics have always been. My mom was a big Paul Simon fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and that was just all. Music was like around. It wasn't. Mom's like she's good for like 20 minutes at a concert, and she's like, I'm over it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but my next door neighbor, my best friend's parents, I wrote a song about them called "Hippies Use the Side Door," and it was about. I didn't realize it, but like it's one of those things actually. A great point of like you don't realize it till you get older, but like I didn't realize how much they impacted my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about it, but they always had these awesome parties. They always had music on.
Yeah.
And he was a mechanic for the post office, but he had like the coolest tech. He had like the 300 disc CD changer, you know. And so I remember just sitting there like eating that up, and they had records, like stacks of records, and music was definitely a big part of their life.
Yeah.
And I pretty much like lived at their house when I wasn't at my house. That was my best friend. I really think that was a huge deal, and they had a guitar and a drum set, and so
That's cool.
I feel like that's probably the purest answer. Like it kind of, that's why my house, like we just have instruments around. I don't have my kids in lessons. It's like it's here, man. If you want it,
Play it.
and they do, they pick it up and mess with it. But they're little sport nuts. My boys are all.
Yeah. So you went to CCM, correct?
Yes.
So
yeah.
what made you, like, you obviously knew from a young age that you wanted to keep doing music, right?
Yeah.
From the church basement to
Yeah.
continue. What was your thought when you were like younger?
Yeah,
getting
so
into
I got
college?
into CCM because I was really into audio production,
Mm-hmm.
and I still produce, and like I had a studio for a few years. It's obviously a huge part of everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy sitting here because I just found out that one of my professors, Richard Kaywood was his name. He just passed away, and
Oh.
he's the first person on the planet I ever heard use the word podcast back in like 2005.
Wow.
6, maybe 7, I don't know, but but I remember him talking about these podcasts, and now here we are.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that, but yeah, I went to CCM for. I always joke that like my major was like the bastard child because like I was in class with these guys that were like they're still like first chair, like cello and dancers. My roommate was a ballerina. He was a dancer, and like it was a big deal that we got in there. Like it was a huge deal, a really hard, difficult thing to get into. But it was audio, video production, a lot of marketing, a lot of sales and stuff like that. Not sales. I did sales later for radio stuff, but like it was the production side of it that really like hooked me in. Like I'm gonna run a studio, and that was my way of like if I can learn how to do that, then I can make my own records. And we're still making our own records. So my guitar player John was an eMedia. Now they call it like our major turned into like 10 other things.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? We were like right at the cusp of all the stuff that's happening now. You know.
It's so specialized now.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I think it was a great, like, I don't tell everybody to go to college, but it was like, I had a great experience because I learned how to do a lot of different things. And it kind of gave you that little bit of an edge, like excellence. The conservatory life is a real thing. You know?
It's hardcore. It's
Yeah,
intense.
It is, yeah.
But I think it's good to get in, the phrase on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Where you're learning every position in the company. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
understand what it takes to produce, to record, to do the quality control, the sound
Yeah.
editing and all of it, plus play all of the instruments. And
Yeah.
so you actually understand everybody's role in the play. You have just so much more credibility, I feel, because you know exactly what you're going for.
Yeah.
And you can speak in a language or a lingo that matters to the person actually
sure.
performing that particular role.
Yeah.
For sure.
like
I heard
highest
somebody
form
talk
of
about
respect.
theater kids.
Yeah.
Like there was this whole speech about hiring theater kids because they're so well rounded.
I did hear that too.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you
Meeting
think
a
that's
deadline.
true?
Oh, I think production, like the production world, like
Yeah.
having a deadline,
They're
things
like,
go
if
wrong.
you want a hard worker, get a theater kid.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to get something done, get a theater kid.
So I was never in choir or any of that stuff when I was in high school. I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna be a band kid. But like I remember I got voted like most musical or whatever.
Really?
And like all the theater and choir kids were mad at me because like he's not even.
He's not even in the drama club.
Yeah, I was like this girl. She was like shouts out Lizzie if you ever see this. No, but she played French horn and she was like really into that. And then like I got voted musical or whatever. I don't even know what it was. Whatever.
Like
but
best
it was
musician or something
yeah, it
like
was
that.
just because I was like in a band.
Yeah.
This is Confessions, the 11 Sessions
I know.
Confessions.
That's right.
I got
Sorry,
in school with the
Lizzie.
same girl when I was in junior high. I was in band up into junior high. I took a pencil and like threw it down her French horn, and it like got stuck, and I got in much trouble for that. Not a bunch, but yeah.
Enough.
I
Yeah,
think
know.
honestly, musically though, like just having that like junior high basis of like rhythm. I took a bunch of like theory in college, but I was just so. I wish I'd have paid more attention because I could use a lot of that more. Like it's there, but I didn't speak. I wish I'd have paid more attention to the theory side of what I was learning for sure.
Yeah.
It's a whole language.
Yeah.
Sometimes your brain isn't ready for that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like I felt
yeah.
that way about things like math and physics. Like when I was learning it, I wasn't really interested in it.
Yeah,
But later on, I would go back and watch some PBS thing, and I was like, this is amazing and fascinating. But I
Yeah.
feel like, maybe my brain wasn't ready to learn it then.
Yeah, that's cool. There's definitely a thing about the conservative. We talk about that a lot. Like because actually my guitar player went to CCM, and then our keys player, she has a music school, Talent Music. Shouts out Talent Music. But Kaylin, she actually went to a conservatory and then came to CCM. She dropped out for like her master's or whatever. But we talk about, and then my fiddle player went to school for it, and like it's just cool to like we talk. There's this other piece, but then like. Our bass player and some of the other guys in our band, like they didn't have that side of it, but they got all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I've met some amazing guitar players that can't be in a band or sit in a van for 8 hours. Like it's a whole other piece of that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the hang is so important.
Yeah.
And you learn that in the church basements or the rock and roll clubs.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, like the skill set versus how you actually do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more than just playing guitar.
Oh yeah. I'm not a guitar player. I say I play guitar, but I'm not like a player. Those guys that can really get after it. Yeah, that was
that was pretty skilled, I would say.
Yeah. I can write. I get bored. I'll learn enough to write a song with it.
Yeah.
And then I just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So let's hear about what you've got coming up again. What's your schedule looking like again in the coming week, and then moving forward in a couple of months or so?
Yeah, I'm really trying to get. We're trying to get back out on the road this year. It's kind of a saying in our camp, like we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable again because we used to tour, and now we're a little older and. Everybody doesn't want to just go like sleep on floors and stuff, but we kind of need to a little bit. So we're going up to Marietta, Ohio for a theater show this weekend, actually, and then going back in April, going back to Denmark. I'm excited because we have a lot of new music to put out this year. So we've been working really hard in the studio. We got a lot of stuff already ready to go, and I'm kind of in that spot of like we have them, but I can release them, but like. What do we do to get the best legs under this stuff from business side of it to, relationships we can lean into and help us kind of get the eyes on the music. So,
Do you believe it's good to do one song releases or to cut a whole album at a time and release the full album? Because we're getting mixed signals from some of the bands that release because it's a short attention span universe that we're living in versus the full album.
I think the answer is there isn't an answer. It changes every week right now. I feel like I just called my buddy Matt Rogers and was like, literally, I said, Matt, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like this is not a joke. I said, I'm sitting on some of the best music I've ever had. I can act like I know how to put music out, but it's changing so fast. And there, even a year ago or 2 years ago, it was like just post a TikTok every day. Post a TikTok consistently. That's not enough right now.
No.
Right.
And going viral once isn't enough now. And it's like, that's all changing. So I believe records are going to become more important. I think that I see this in marketing trends, like analog's becoming a thing.
Yes.
You know, the
Again.
crunchy, touchy stuff.
Kids are selling tapes
Yeah.
now back at
I
concerts.
do think that trend is going to become more of a thing. And shouts out to all the songwriters, because it's like that's where it's at and starts with. I think great music's going to find its way. You know, I mean, I've put out so much stuff that I thought was great, nothing happened to, but like the people will let you know if the music's any good. There's the side of it, like 200,000 songs are coming out on Spotify a day or whatever. So there's part of it's like, just put it out,
Yeah.
you know? But I like records. I say that, and I think a lot of people my age say that, but I listen to a lot of just singles too, and on playlists, you know? And so we can act like we love records, but are we really just sitting down and like active listening to a record? I don't know. I mean, we should be. It's amazing, but
That's a thing when we were growing up.
yeah.
Concept albums. I mean,
Yeah.
you would listen to the whole thing from start to
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
That's gone. I don't.
And to hear the
Yeah.
dust caught under the needle and just the
Oh,
whole,
yeah.
and just
Yeah.
the touching of the
Yeah.
album and the
Yeah.
pulling the sleeve out, and that it's an experience
For
where
sure.
you do have to put all your digital crap away to
What?
focus and be present.
Yeah. There it is, something cool, like having a listening party like that.
Yeah.
I started putting out a song a week on Patreon. There's part of me that wants to take everything off of everything and just live on my own website. I built a membership. This is like 10 years ago. And at the time, I think a couple people that were around me thought it was crazy, because they're like, you got to have, 10 years ago, if you had your Spotify numbers up, it was everything. Like you could get a record deal if your Spotify numbers are up. Those numbers don't mean anything right now. I mean, they can mean something if it's all working. But there's artists that are doing really, really big tours and making all kinds of money that have less than 10,000 people on their Spotify. I mean, that's happening all around. And there's some people that have
Really?
millions, It's like,
Yeah.
those numbers kind of, who knows? But if I could make like what I would love to see, if I knew it was going to work, I'd take everything down and you'd have to go to noahsmithmusic.com and consume my music. And I would make records just for that. So I started using Patreon just because I built my own site, but it just made it easier because it's got its platform. So I put 35 songs out on Patreon last year.
Yeah.
I was sharing them
Wow.
every week, but then it was like a little crazy. So
Yeah.
I was just writing to like, I got to get a song in. And something amazing came from that, obviously, but there's something there. But I would love to do that. Like, just forget the numbers.
Well, why don't you? What's keeping you
I don't
from
know.
doing
That's
that?
a great question. Because the people that actually feed my family
Or on
would
Spotify?
be there. No, they would. They
They
don't
wouldn't
Oh,
be
care.
they would be on your
I think about that.
site,
Like
yeah.
my Patreon supporters,
Would move
the
over.
live show, like I don't make any. Why are we even as a songwriter? So you talk about dying to your ego. I've been talking about this. Going off on a tangent. Hopefully,
No,
That's
we
fine.
like
Go for
tangents.
it. We're here.
I love writing. It is the coolest thing in the world. If somebody else plays a song that I wrote and they're like, Noah Smith wrote this, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, I don't care if there's 10 people in the room. That's one of the coolest feelings when somebody plays and you get a cut and somebody's playing it, or they release a song. 'Cause I have like 60 independent cuts with other people and music out. That's amazing. But I had to get real self-aware if I'm the leader of this thing to go, I love writing, but the thing that actually pays our bills is playing live.
Yeah.
My Patreon is a piece of that. It funds my records and it's funding them more. The more people that come, it's like $5 a month, but we're getting enough people now, or it's paying for my records to get made. That's it. It's like we cracked the code. It doesn't, we're not driving around the nicest cars all the time, but it's like we're making records that our people are paying for. But if I was being real self-aware, who cares if I have another song to write? I need songs that smash live.
Yeah.
So I've actually started looking for outside songs that I didn't even cut or that I didn't even write. And I've been reaching out to some people like, hey, I need an up-tempo that I can kill it live with. I got to
Yeah.
believe in it. And I'm going to have to really listen to it. And I've been listening to some, but that's on the die to your ego thing. I was
Yeah.
like, are you so cool that you have to write all of these, Noah? And I don't know if I am or not, but it's like, I wrestle with that a lot. Because my
Interesting.
live show that's our forte. Like our
Yeah.
live show is our thing. My full band is the jam. Like that's the move. If I could do that every weekend, 3 days a week, like that's where we're at. But do I have to write those songs? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting when you say, are you too cool to play other people's stuff?
Yeah.
It's not even like covering other people's stuff. It's
Yeah.
playing creators, stuff that cover bands aren't typically playing, right?
Right.
And even when you do cover, I don't like to cover the hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We talk about it's like
Same way.
cover the B-sides, the songs people don't know exist, or the songs people don't really
Make it your
listen to.
own.
Yes.
Make it your own.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where they have to listen to the lyrics and,
And
go,
then
oh my
they're
God,
like,
I love this
"I've
song.
heard-"
What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's Bruce Coburn, and he wrote this back in 1972. and, you
Yeah.
know, anyway.
Cody Johnson's a great artist at the top of like the kind of country rock world that like he cuts a ton of songs he's never written on, and he's getting hit after hit after hit after hit. And
There's
it's
so many big,
yeah.
big names that are playing songs that they don't write.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the common thing. And we went through the season of like artists. Everybody wanted a publishing company, and then that kind of shifted back into being an artist. Like like in Nashville, especially, there was definitely like, are you an artist or are you a songwriter? And there was years though it was like you had to pick,
Really?
because if you were the artist, they didn't want you. You have other things to go do, and then we'll get the writers to do that because they're the
Really?
best of the best. And then that kind of shifted where it's like vertical integration. Let's have this one person do both. But Ashley McBride's, I know she's put out songs that she didn't write on. She's a great songwriter, obviously. Cody Johnson's done a lot of that, a lot of other artists. So it's like I started looking at that like, you know, I could share 30 more songs that I wrote, but like, what's that song that if we get it right, we're gonna change, you know, 15 people's families' lives right now.
Yeah.
Like my whole team of people that are touching
Right.
this thing. Like if we get it right, I've always like I want to do that. I want to do that.
Have you gone out to any, you know, like,
That would feel so good
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
cool.
to take care of so many people.
Like grilling hot
Yeah.
dogs. Just
Yeah.
like we got this guy. So like
yeah, everybody's, no, that you're right.
Yeah.
To know that you're affecting and impacting
Yeah.
positively so
Yeah.
many lives, their livelihood. What was the show we went to in Louisville? Goodman?
SG Goodman.
SG Goodman.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm sitting here listening to you going, are there other musicians that are touring around and just like, hey, let's go down and catch this show.
Mhm.
I've heard a song or two. It showed up in a feed. I want to
Yeah.
go check this musician out, and just blown away.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you
what we-
done?
yeah.
Just blown away by them and thinking, oh my God, I want to talk to them. I'd like to meet with them. Or,
Yeah.
Do you get out to see?
I need to do more of that, honestly.
You probably don't have time.
I get out, honestly, I go out more in Nashville than when I'm at home because it's one of the reasons why we haven't moved. We've talked about moving forever. We had a realtor. We've just a couple years ago, even it's like when I'm there, I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's a Tuesday, I'm not going to roll down to this show in Cincinnati. I need to though. It needs to happen more.
Yeah.
Crooner Circus has been a blessing for that because you can't leave those shows not inspired.
Right.
It might not be like a big hit writer. It doesn't even matter. But like when you see somebody you don't even know and you're kind of like, I don't know how this is going to go. And some of my friends, like my buddy Jimmy Klepper, he always like, he'll text me on the way home. He's like, I hate this show because now like I want to go home and write. Because it makes you want to get better, you know,
Yeah.
and you hear that. There is definitely that like sharpening of the thing. Crooner's been really cool for that.
That's really.
But I do need to get out more and just be part of it. You know?
That's one of my favorite things to do is to kind of show up somewhere
Yeah.
to see somebody play and then you don't know them, you're not real familiar with them or you've never heard them and
Yeah.
then they just kind of blow you away and you're like, who is this person? You know what I mean? It's one of my favorite things to do here
well,
in
the,
town.
the gal that opened for SG Goodman,
Oh yeah.
she blew our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went into this teeny tiny place to just
Who was it?
Angela.
I can't remember her
I'll
name.
tell you after the show.
Yeah.
Because I've got to look on my phone. She was incredible.
Yeah.
But
She was like
but then,
from North Carolina or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
and just mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool to stumble across people by accident.
Yeah.
And I imagine when people go to Crooner Circus,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
pretty
complete
cool.
accident for some of them
Yeah.
to walk in and just go, oh my God, mind blown. I need to hear more of your stuff and follow you and support you.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
There's a friend of ours named Trapper Haskins. He's from Franklin, Tennessee, and he was a person in my life that I met him years ago. The story goes, I was working at Starbucks, and we had our first son when I was 20. So I was in college. We had our first boy, and I was the only person there that would like work 40 hours at Starbucks. So picking up every shift I could or
Wow.
whatever. that was like, so like the older people there would get mad because I was getting like more hours and stuff. But I was there on a Sunday morning and they rolled up in a van and they walked in. I just saw Trapper down in Nashville. We played 2 full bands 2 weeks ago. And he came out, this was years ago. And they walked in and they had like corduroy. This is a true story, but it sounds like a bit now because we've said it so much. But they had corduroy on, like black rock and roll T-shirts. And they walked in, and the first thing I said to them, I said, where'd you guys play last night? And they played at the old Southgate house, like the old building. So that's whenever that was. But he's somebody that I connected with. I got his card. I still keep it in my studio as just a reminder of like the right way to do life. Yeah. And I heard his music, and he has a song called Out of State Tags. And I remember hearing it and just being like, what is this? And he had the American Songwriter magazine sitting on his merch table, and he had a write-up on it. And I started talking to him about that song. I was like, man, what if we did that song? Could we do that? So could we put that song out? That'd be amazing. And we ended up, that's the first song I ever did that I didn't write on at all. I was just such a fan of the story and and that song. Fast forward a couple years, in 2020, my song Should Have Seen Me Yesterday got featured in American Songwriter. Very cool. And it was just like, I remember when that happened, I was like, oh, this is such a cool thing, but he was one of those people that just impacted me, oh, wow. For me, and I had a publishing company sending me songs a couple months ago, like, because I reached out I'm interested in some songs. And they were like, how will you know if you know what you want or what would you like to do? And I was like, well, I need to probably play them live because I think live's where you really see it impact a room. Yeah.
What's your definition of success as a musician?
If you can do what you want for a living and just barely get by, that's like heaven on earth. And that's a quote from a guy that ran, I forget his name, it was like something Justice. Roscoe Justice is what I always thought. That's probably wrong. It just sounds like I played this you remember the Jimmy Buffett restaurants?
Yes.
They used to do like Battle of the Bands.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, Margaritaville. Yeah. And there was one in Eastgate, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I went there in my baseball uniform. And I got on stage and I was like, you could win $100. It was like a contest and they cheered for you or whatever. And I played that. And I remember being like, I bet I'm the only person who's ever played in a jockstrap, and it like busted the room up. And like I had like a T-shirt and my baseball pants on or whatever. But I ended up winning the $100, and he was outside like smoking a cigarette, and he said that to me, and I was like, I'm 17 or 18. Wow. And he was just like, man, like if you can if you can play, I'm showing my cover. He was like this. Sorry, mom. Muscle memory. The left-handed cigarette, but so yeah, he's smoking his pipe, and he said that to me. He's like, if you can, some form of that, he's like, if you can play music and barely get by, and he's like, that's heaven on earth, man. And I was like, you're the coolest person I've ever met in my life. Yeah. But I feel like that now. It's like, I was just watching a documentary about this skateboard guy. He's like the original trick skateboarder, and he committed his whole life to it. And he was talking about how nothing really happened, but all these other people made money from his thing. And he was kind of talking about that. Like, this is it, man. I'm doing this. Yeah. There's so many people that are making it in music, but they're like, one of the worst things I hate people say, not that I hate, but like, I really struggle when I hear people say like, I just want to quit my job and do music. And I'm always like, maybe keep your job because you're going to need money to make this thing happen and just enjoy it too. Like but I say that, but I'm all in on trying to really make it work too. Like every day.
It sounds like you've been all in for a long time though.
Yeah. Nah, we're blessed, man. It's cool. I lead worship at Nicholson Christian Church in Independence, Kentucky. So I'm part-time there, which is full-time because I love it. I did that for a long time. And then I was at a writer's retreat, and a friend of mine was there, and he's like, man, our church is like hiring somebody, And I was like, you get paid to do this? Do what? Like, churches pay you to do that? So I went there, and it's 45-minute, 50-minute drive from our house, actually, and which is crazy. But I've been doing that for 5 years now, and like, we love it and love we have a team. I have a team of 30 people there that I kind of lead that, and if anybody watches, they're like, kinda like no, but it's funny because they don't a lot of time in that they don't realize what I have outside too. Like it's
Right.
but it's there's so many parallels in that.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jesus dude, but it's cool. It's not two separate lives. It's like it's all part of it, you know. And so, but I am so blessed that has been my like stability. That is a stable part of what's going on, you know. And it's really it blows my mind that I get to do that, and it's pretty cool.
Well, you brought up Jesus, and I think you need to tell a story about the Cheez-Its.
Cigarettes and cheeses.
Yeah, before we wrap the
Oh,
show
yeah,
for the
I
day.
can't wait to
That's
show
right.
these guys. Cigarettes and Cheez-Its, yeah. Well, now I can't. No, I don't want to say it because everybody will do it.
No, I want to hear
I'm
it.
going to get a Cheez-It sponsor. That'd be amazing.
That's what we're aiming
Two
for.
friends, two friends, they're friends of mine now, but they always, when I cigarettes and Jesus, because my northern thing starts showing up. It sounds like I'm saying Cheez-Its, so they bring me Cheez-Its all the time. So
I dig it.
yeah.
We're gonna roll into one of your shows with a Cheez-It shirt
Yeah,
Do
we
in
are.
a box.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we are.
Maybe we should sell those. That'd
Yeah.
be the move. Yeah.
With your logo on the outside on the packaging.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
think it's a great idea.
It's Halloween costuming, I think.
Well, this has been fun,
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
and really appreciate your time and
Sure.
driving all the way out from Brown County. We won't say the city
Yeah.
because that's out there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I say I'm from the great state of Brown County, Ohio. So Mount Orb, Ohio is where I live at. So it's been born and raised out there. I always say too, like you drive an hour east, there's a bean field, and that's where I live. So it's cool. I live 5 minutes from where I grew up. Love it out there. But
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like we have 5 acres. It's pretty chill, but we talk about moving to Nashville, and it's like, well, unless you got 2 million, you're not going to find that, you know.
No, you're not.
We got to boost your subscription.
Let's go. Yeah,
Let's get it
work
done.
on that.
Yeah.
I love this. This has been awesome. It's been great space. It's beautiful here. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
awesome.
Thanks so much.
We're
for coming.
excited to come down to Crooner Circus
Yeah.
and see what's going on.
Thursday.
Anytime. Third Thursdays every month.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah.
know. I'll put you on the list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
All
coming
right.
this Thursday.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Noah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been fun. Do you think maybe I just kind of want to hear you play one more before you go? Is that too greedy?
I can play another one.
I got a little red dust on these boots, been blowing smoke like a ghost in the rear view. That look in your eyes is backwoods fire, burns my plans every time. Lost in between neon signs and back in your arms tonight. Every night I'm borderline. Every night I'm borderline, slowing down or running wild. Halfway gone to go all in, shaking off these roots again. Every night I'm borderline, rolling in late or right on time. What I want, or what you need, I'm somewhere lost in between. Every night's a different fight, every heart needs a place to hide. Every kiss a brand new life. Every night I'm borderline, yeah. Every night I'm borderline. And highways home like a midnight hymn. You call my name like static on FM. Gotta run a while to know I'm still free. Foot on the gas till you're next to me. Every night I'm borderline. Every night I'm borderline, slowing down or running wild. Halfway gone to go all in, shaking off these roots again. Every night I'm borderline, rolling in late or right on time. What I want, what you need, I'm somewhere lost in between. Every night's a different fight, every heart needs a place to hide. Every kiss a brand new life. Every night I'm borderline, yeah. Every night I'm borderline. Every night I'm borderline, slowing down or running wild. Halfway gone to go all in, shaking off these roots again. Every night I'm borderline, rolling in late or right on time. What I want or what you need, I'm somewhere lost in between. Every night's a different fight, every heart needs a place to hide. Every kiss a brand new life. Every night I'm borderline. Every night I'm borderline, yeah. We ended up on an upbeat, I felt like.
Yeah, you did a really good.
That one should be coming out later in 2026.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.